Hi there. So I've realised today that it is exactly 9 months to the date that I've first posted my first video of my Dovii. Just before I get close, I've painted the front of his tank black, and I'm going to, when I finish the bottom, I'm going to paint it all black. I've decided, I just think it looks much better than boring white. And we've made some changes, and I'm doing a bit of an update on the fish itself. Excuse me, sorry I'm a bit bad on the camera here. I'm just going to sit down with the fishy. Alright, okay, so yeah, so 9 months today, this date, exactly 9 months ago I first posted my video of this guy, which is Tiny, my Dovii male. He was about 3 centimeters long when I got him, and I picked him out as a male. I'll try and follow him, but try and keep the camera nice so it's not too shaky. You know, he's grown really well. So, you know, he's, in my mind, he's 9 months old, but obviously, you know, he was probably a couple of months old when I bought him. You know, he would have been at least 4 to 8 weeks old, I reckon, when I bought him at 3 centimeters. At a guess, so, you know, technically he's probably 10 to 11 months old, but in my mind he's 9 months old. And look, do I have a ruler? Hang on, have I got a ruler? Here's a ruler, I'll put it there. So there's a ruler there, that's 30 centimeters. I don't know if he'll come anywhere near it, but anyway, he's he'd have to be all of 25 centimeters, possibly a little bit more. So I'm really happy with how he's growing. He's doing very well. It's be nice if he sat right in front of the ruler for me, then I could actually get a really accurate idea of his size. But I'm pretty close when I guess with fish, and I'm certain he's about, I'd actually say 26. But then anyway, he's looking lovely. So I've made some changes to the tank. So I cleared that end of gravel altogether because he wasn't eating the pellets that I was dropping in, which were sinking ones. He used to eat floating ones, he went off them. So I tried some sinking pellets, and he had trouble finding them in the gravel, I think. So I just cleared that end, and then I just dropped them at that end so he can find them easily, and he finds them. But he's been a bit naughty lately and hasn't been eating very well, because I think I've spoiled him by giving him garden worms once a week and occasional krill. And I think he's, you know, he gets a big full belly of worms or something, and I think he sort of tries to hold off till he gets something nice like that again. So today I did a water change on my tank. I changed probably about a quarter of the water, so probably about 250 to 300 litres of water. 7 by 2.5 by 2.5 foot tank. I think close to 1200 litres volume. Where are we? And I've decided I'm not going to feed him today. Now, I've done this in the past with Dovii and other cichlids, where if they don't eat the pellets, because I want his primary source of food to be pellets, if they don't eat their pellets, I'll skip a day here and there without feeding them to get them hungry again, especially after water change too, because I find that a water change with nice clean fresh water, and my tank's nice right now, it definitely gets them going. They get hungry, seems to make them want to eat. So I'm going to not feed him today. I've done the water change today, no food today. He's swimming around very active, he's looking very healthy, but you know, I want him to be hungry, I want him to want to eat. So when I drop those pellets in tomorrow, he gobbles them up. As you know, pellets sitting in fish tanks that don't get eaten are bad, and if they disintegrate in the water after a while, you can't even net them out. So I'm sort of like, okay, it's time to put the hard word on him a little bit and just not feed him today. So I prepared that big piece of driftwood in there over the last 6 months. It's I don't know what type of wood it is. It is a hardwood from Australia. I think it's some type of Australian native. I can't remember what it is. I did look up the technical name for it. And so what I did is I cut it to the way I wanted it. Originally I was going to stand it on one end, but I realized that if I did, he could tip it over. So I just laid it down, and that way he can sort of swim underneath and through it there, where that filter is through there, that little box filter. And it's good, and he really likes it. He was very scared of it at first, but after a couple of days in there, he loves that piece of timber now, and I think it gives him a bit of comfort and a bit of structure, something to hide around and that. So I'm one for liking pretty bare tanks, but at the same time, it was boring for me, but also I think it was boring for him. So, you know, he's got to have somewhere to feel a bit safe. So I did that, and I'm just wondering how long this video is going for. Oh, my fat fingers were at the top of the camera. How terrible. Sorry. I'm rambling. So yeah, so I prepared that wood. I debarked what was left of the bark on it. I scrubbed it, soaked it, you bloody name it, and then I left it out in the sun on a tin shed roof for about 6 months in stormy Australian rainy sunny weather, and it's done it the world of good. It's aged it, there no tannins come out of it. I believe all the rain and all the soaking and everything I've done took care of all the tannins, and then I scrubbed the heck out of it before I put it in the tank. And I wasn't, you know, I made sure 100% that what I put in there is not going to hurt my fish or the water parameters in any way at all. Wild driftwood, you know, you've got to know that it's safe. But anyway, there's the little dude, tiny. Probably doesn't really look any different to the last video I made, considering it was only 2 or 3 weeks ago. But yeah, so the front of the tank's black. I added the driftwood there. I removed one of the corner filters that was up that back corner and just put an air stone there for now, because the filter I realised was useless. It was a modern day sponge filter, and they're just are so big and porous in the sponge. They're not dense. They don't catch anything. This little tiny old thing here, that really old little aqua clear one there at the back, hello, it's if you put that in the tank like I have now and squeeze it out every week or two, the amount of muck that comes out of it's great. Just like that type with wool in it, I swear by the old type of filters like that wool plastic corner filter there that you can see on the camera right now, the best by far. These modern sponge filters, I don't find them to be very good. I wish he'd stay still for us. He's got some little teeth, and he's just typical male Dovii, you know. He's starting to get a little bit more, I wouldn't say aggressive, but he's just starting to get a little bit more confident lately, I've noticed too. So as he's getting bigger, I think his confidence is increasing. A couple of quick other things to talk about. I cleaned the tank today. I cleaned all the front glass. I cleaned the end glass. What I don't do is clean the back glass, and that isn't actually, well, what it is algae. And it's, yes, I know it's brown, but it's also turning green, and I like to have some algae growing in the tank. I don't know, I think it sort of gives it a natural look, and also I feel like it may somehow in some way contribute to the biological cycle, maybe, I don't know. If it was like a black algae, I would say that would be a bad color, probably dangerous, but it's more of a green to yellowy brown sort of an algae, and I think that's probably okay. If my pleco was still in there, he probably would have cleaned that up long ago, but I had to get rid of him because the Dovii just wouldn't leave him alone. Yeah, there he is. And another thing, quickly, because this video is already 9 minutes, my goodness, I added a new heater. So that one is my second heater, and it's now winter in Queensland, Australia. The temperatures dropped like probably, I don't know, 10 degrees to what it sort of is in summer on average. And I found that my single 300 watt heater up this end wasn't keeping up to the temperature that I wanted it to be, which is about 28 degrees. I like my tanks to be on about 28 degrees, my Dovii. That might sound a bit high, but I find that it keeps them sort of, you know, you go too cold and they get a bit sluggish and don't seem to want to eat. So I like to keep it about 27, 28. Anyway, that's a 500 watt brand new heater that I put in there. It's quite a big heater, and now the tank's sitting on about 28, which is exactly where I like it. So I've got the two heaters going. Obviously in summertime I'll pull the big one there out and just go back to the little guy there, which more than can handle it easily in summer. So yeah, So this is Tiny, my Dovii, 9 months old, doing really well. I reckon he's going to hit that 12-inch mark by 12 months of age, no problem at the rate that he's going, provided I can get him to start eating properly again. But I will. I'm pretty persistent. Trying to get some close-ups of him here for you. Sorry about the reflection from the whatever that reflection's from. He loves to chase those bubbles. Yeah, I do miss my old ones, I have to say, but this guy's going to be lovely. He's turning out well. Yeah, he's pretty good. Let's see if I can entice him to come this way a bit. He's not playing ball. No. Little bugger. Anyway guys, I better wrap it up there. So that's Tiny, my Dovii. A bit of an update on his tank. So we got our new driftwood, that's a nice big one. Got our new heater. Painting the tank all black. There he is. One last look at him. And we will say bye for now, and I'm going to see you at exactly when this guy hits 12 months of age. Okay, thank you for watching. Okay, bye bye.